Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, was Maria Taylor too greedy for wanting Stephen A. Smith money at ESPN? So that's a topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, make sure you go ahead and check out Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community, place where you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games, and so many other cool things. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to check that out. We have that linked in the description below. And also make sure you go ahead and click the join button to join the channel to receive loyalty badges from us here. So anyway, let me get into this topic here. So first of all, over the last few weeks, Maria Taylor has been a staple in the news, right? We know this. Why? Because of the whole situation that she had with Rachel Nichols having her mic on while she was having a private conversation with one of LeBron James' associates or whoever it is, in which she said that she felt like Maria Taylor being promoted to an NBA Finals sideline position is something that shouldn't have happened because that was originally in her contract, and she felt like it was a breach of contract, and they only did that because she felt as if it was a diversity hire, something that then once that news came out, there was a big firestorm around it. We covered it, other networks covered it, other people, other content creators covered it as well, and we kind of gave our thoughts about that. Now, here's the backstory. Maria Taylor, as all of you guys know, she works at ESPN. Now, Maria Taylor is a TV host for ESPN. She covers the NBA, college football, college volleyball, the NFL, and women's basketball, right? So she covers a plethora of sports, and I'm sure she's a very busy woman there at ESPN, and I'm sure she has a lot of things that she's doing. And I think she was earning, if I'm not mistaken, I think she was earning over or about $1 million per year, right? However, we know that her contract was coming to an end this month, right? We know that her contract was coming to an end this month, and she was in negotiations with ESPN, trying to negotiate a new contract. And obviously, whenever you work anywhere, and you feel like as if you perform well under a contract, when it's time for a renegotiation, you want to up, you want better terms or better rates or whatever it is. In this case, she wants a higher salary, which anybody would want if you're smart. Now, reports were a few weeks prior that ESPN had offered her $5 million a year. I don't know for the number of years, but they offered her a $5 million per year contract, right? And when they offered her that contract, apparently what happened was she turned it down. She turned down the $5 million per year, and that kind of turned a lot of heads, and got people to kind of say, "Wait, what? She turned down $5 million a year? Well, how much is she expecting? Like, somebody's offering you $5 million a year. How much do you want?" Right? And it turned out, from some reports that were out there and some of the whispers and rumors, it turned out that we heard that Maria Taylor instead wanted a salary that was comparable or similar to that of Stephen A. Smith. And that really made a lot of people kind of turn their heads sideways and look at her like, "What? You want to earn as much as Stephen A. Smith? What are you talking about, Willis? What you mean?" Now, the reason that people will say that is because, first of all, Stephen A. Smith is undoubtedly the face of ESPN. There's no two ways about it, right? He is the biggest draw, to that network. And although he says some things to turn people off, nevertheless, people tune in to hear what he has to say. There's just no two ways about it. He is the star of, I think, the #1 sports talk show in the United States, and ESPN First Take. I think ESPN First Take does better than Undisputed, actually, according to the numbers last time I checked. He has his own show on the network called Stephen A's World, and he does a plethora of other things. I think at one point he had his own radio show. I know he travels a lot to cover different events. I know he covers the NBA Finals. He does a bunch of different things, right? So we all know this, and we know that Stephen A. Smith for sure is the face of ESPN. So no one is surprised that he earns the most money there. However, up until a few days ago, we thought that Stephen A. Smith was earning around $7 to $8 or $6 to $8 million a year. Then the New York Post actually reported that Stephen A. Smith is making $12 million per annum at the network, right? Which surprised a lot of people. Like, man, Stephen A. Smith is making $12 million, but it looks like he's being paid what he deserves. Now, obviously, $12 million is a drop in the bucket for a company that makes well over $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion a year. That's nothing to ESPN, but nevertheless, he earns about $12 million. And once we heard that number, people were even more surprised to find out that Maria Taylor wants $12 million, or around 12 million, maybe 8, 9, whatever it is, a year. And people are like, hold on, wait a minute. And it's an interesting phenomenon, and I'll tell you why. A plethora of people came out to support Maria Taylor when they felt like the comments that Rachel Nichols made were unjust, were unfair. Basically saying that you're saying that Maria Taylor wouldn't be able to work a sideline job at the NBA Finals. Had it not been that the NBA was, that ESPN was making a diversity hire, don't you feel like she's qualified enough, that she has the mental capacity and, the faculties to be able to perform such a job? What do you mean by that, right? That's why a lot of people took exception, including myself. However, that's one issue. But in the same hand, some people feel like, wait a minute, now we supported you when it came to that, Maria, but now you're saying that you want to earn $12 million or around $12 million a year. We absolutely don't feel like you deserve $12 million a year. And I'm actually in that boat. I don't believe she deserves to be paid similarly to what Stephen A. Smith, because let's just be honest, people tune in to hear Stephen A. Smith. He's the one that's always in the headlines, right? Had this not been a story, no one would be really talking about Maria. This is no disrespect to her. These are just the facts. This is just the reality, and it's not a knock on her in any way. So it turned out that ESPN originally had offered her $5 million per annum, a number in which she turned down, and she probably felt it was wrong. And then ESPN said, okay, well, if you don't want that $5 million, we're going to offer you $3 million, and basically made it a take it or leave it kind of proposition, because I think, I don't know how it works, but probably they offered her $5 million, and then maybe you can go back and forth. Maybe you can renegotiate it, above 500,000 more, or, 750,000 more. I don't know how it works, right? But maybe it wasn't a hard line number, like, okay, it's 5 million. Maybe you can negotiate around it, because things can always be negotiated on. But it looks like ESPN, once they said, okay, she doesn't want 5 million, we're going to give you 3 million. Since you don't want to come to the table with us, this is our final offer, and you can take it or leave it. I'm assuming that's what happened there. And obviously, if she wanted numbers comparable, or if she wanted a salary that was comparable to that of what Stephen A. Smith was earning, I can be 100% sure that once they offered her $3 million, she was probably offended and was like, man, I'm out of here. Then we hear some news from an article that I'm going to read to you right now, that Maria Taylor may be close to inking a deal with NBC Sports. So I'm going to read this quickly to you. It goes, the title of the article is from the front office sports.com. It goes, ESPN's Maria Taylor at half yard line of deal with rival NBC. So basically it says ESPN's Maria Taylor is naming a possible deal with rival NBC Sports. Sources tell front office sports. Yeah. The rising star could become the new host of the Football Night in America, as Mike Tirico, I hope I pronounced his name properly, transitions into play-by-play alongside long-held partner Al Michaels. With her experience on ESPN's popular College Game Day, Taylor could work on NBC's broadcasts of Notre Dame football. As an added lure, NBC could provide Taylor a global TV stage as an Olympic correspondent. And then it goes on to say, this and this and this. So it looks like, right, because obviously they said, they were offering her $3 million a year. Now, one would assume they would offer her more. And it looks like, as well as other people working at ESPN, that Mike Greenberg is earning $6 million per annum, and she's earning 12, and Stephen A. Smith was earning $12 million. So I'm assuming Max Kellerman is somewhere in that range of 4, 5, 6, maybe $7 million. I don't know what it is per year. So it looks like Maria Taylor may be moving on to NBC Sports, and probably they're going to be paying her more than the $3 million, right? Probably. The only way I can see them paying her less and her accepting it is probably, it could be under the circumstances of which she probably feels like, listen, I don't want to be here anymore. Regardless of what you guys are offering me, I feel disrespected. There's too much turmoil here. I'm going to leave. Like, you can keep your $3 million. If these guys down the road are offering me $3 million or whatever it is, or even $2.5 million, I'll take that. At least I get to be in a place where there's a lot less drama. Probably that can be a scenario in which she goes to another sports network that's even offering her probably a similar salary, even less, because those type of things, can happen, certainly. But it looks like she may be on her way out to go work in a different network, and which is something that's within her right. This happens all the time. You see players and teams go into negotiations. Sometimes things don't work out. Players walk. They go sign with a different team for a plethora of reasons, right? However, my thoughts on this entire situation is this, going back to the original title of this video, which was, did she get too greedy? I think she did. Obviously, I don't know the inner workings. I'm just giving you my perspective based on the information that I have. And I think that I just don't see how I don't see how Maria Taylor could be paid something similar as far as a salary, similar to that of Stephen A. Smith. That I just couldn't understand, given the fact that Stephen A. Smith is the #1 draw at ESPN. And then if I had to go in order, I would think Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman. Then of course you have Jalen Rose, and then you have Kendrick Perkins, who's quickly becoming quite popular on the network. And into maybe she's somewhere within Jalen Rose kind of bracket there. But for her to want that amount is not. I don't think she was worth that much. And apparently ESPN didn't feel the same way either. So those are my thoughts on this situation. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think? Do you think that she deserved Stephen A. Smith money? Do you think that she should have taken the $5 million once she had it on the table, or even take the $3 billion, or do you think she should just go to another network? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day, and catch you guys on the next episode.